Hi, welcome to Hello Cloud. In this video, we're going to be discussing about what is Terraform. Terraform is one of the very popular infrastructure as code tools. It's one of the products of HashiCorp, which is an open source software company based in San Francisco, California. Basically, Terraform allows you to define infrastructure for a variety of providers. Example, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, DigitalOcean, and OpenStack, etc. Terraform can manage more than just cloud providers, and actually it can manage anything with an API. It uses a simple declarative programming language called HashiCorp Configuration Language, HCL, and to deploy and manage that infrastructures using a few CLI commands. And HashiCorp also has an enterprise version of Terraform, and it is a commercial version. It is built on top of Terraform. Let's take a look at a simple example for infrastructure as code. Let's say we are trying to set up this cloud infrastructure on AWS, and in this infrastructure we have 2 VPC and 4 virtual machines in different subnets, and we want to define necessary security policy between subnets, between virtual machines, and we need to do VPC peering, and we need to set up the internet gateway and routing so that the VM can go out to the internet and so on. Normally, we will log into Amazon Web Management Console, and we will click around the web UI and create the necessary resources and build the infrastructure. This is a very manual process. Instead of doing a very manual way, we pick up one of the IC tools, in this case Terraform. And Terraform uses HashiCorp configuration language, and it also supports JSON syntax. And then we write code to define and provision and manage the cloud infrastructure we want. By doing that, we can automate the whole entire provisioning and the deployment process very quickly. And Terraform is agnostic to underlying platform supported by the resource providers. And here are these resource providers. For example, resources are specific things like EC2 instances, virtual machines, virtual private cloud VPC, load balancer, security groups, Docker containers, and so on. The provider is responsible for underlying API interaction with and exposing their resources, and HashiCorp work with a lot of providers. And this is just a handful of resource providers, not only cloud providers, but also version control systems such as GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab, and monitoring systems like Datadog and Librado. Well, there are actually more than 60 providers. You can find the list on the Terraform website. Terraform has these 3 simple steps approaches. The first step is write, meaning writing the code using a language called HashiCorp Configuration Language, HCL. Super simple and easy to read, and save it in a file extension called .tf. And the next step is plan, and which is a very important step because you're going to review how the changes will affect the infrastructure. Planning will help to reduce mistakes and errors before execution. And then create it. We can also use the same code and configuration in multiple places. For example, staging environment, a production environment, QA environments, dev environments, and etc. And then we can share the configuration across the teams and also the organizations. That's what they call it, reproducible infrastructure. And there's one more thing that I want to highlight. For example, I'm sure you know that many organizations and enterprises are embracing a multi-cloud or hybrid cloud fashion in such a way that by provisioning resources in more than one cloud and consuming those resources simultaneously. What Terraform can do is it can combine multiple providers consistently in one safe single workflow, which is pretty cool. Alright, so having said that, this is an introduction to infrastructure as code using Terraform. We're going to do hands-on demo in later videos.